I'm Richard Ducote. I'm an attorney here in Pittsburgh. I've been practicing law for 32 years now. Our firm focuses on the representation of domestic violence and child abuse, child sexual abuse victims, and their children in family court cases. Today, more than ever, it is crucial for a parent who is the victim of domestic violence or whose child is the victim of physical or sexual abuse at the hands of the other parent to carefully select the attorney who's going to represent them in the family court divorce and custody case. There's a new law in Pennsylvania that just went into effect that requires the court to consider evidence of domestic violence in deciding what's in the child's best interest. But there are other parts of the law that make it problematic for victims of domestic violence and child abuse because the law also requires the court to favor a parent who is supporting the relationship between the child and the other parent. And when the other parent's abusive, that puts the protective parent in a serious dilemma that can threaten their own custody of the child. Because if the court says, well, you're not supporting the relationship, you're not what we call a friendly parent, you can lose custody. And a lot of times the mental health professionals who are involved in these cases don't understand this. And that's why the role of the attorney in these cases is ever so important. The law also provides for an attorney to be appointed as a guardian ad litem to represent, quote, the best interest of the child. That sounds good on paper, but that's been documented to be a problem all over the country because that attorney has a lot of power. A lot of times the family court won't listen to the evidence because they will just listen to what the recommendation is of this guardian ad litem. And so it's very important for the attorney involved in this case to understand what the proper role of the guardian ad litem is, what the ethical limitations of that role involve, what the cases around the country have said that guardian ad litem should and should not be doing, so that the facts of the case and the facts of the abuse are what really controls the judge's determination. And if that's not handled properly, the custody case can go completely in the wrong direction. And I think it's important that not only have we been involved in cases in over 40 states, these abuse and neglect custody cases, but we have done training with mental health professionals around the country. We have done training with judges. We're called upon by domestic violence organizations and by legal organizations to consult with development of new policies, new legislation. I've written legislation that's been enacted all over the country to protect abuse victims. So we have a complete, I think, a very holistic approach to this problem. And it's really a case-specific approach as well as an overall reform effort, so that not only the kids that we can impact in our own practice, but all victims of domestic violence and child abuse around the country hopefully can derive some benefit from the various things that we're involved in.
For more information or to contact Attorney Richard Ducote about a consultation, call 412-687-2020 or go to our website, DucoteLaw.com.